After the male cheerleader was done with me, he hooked up with another cheerleader, a woman. So in the last video, I was talking about how I broke up with my ex, fellow male cheerleader, queer leader, because he tried to punch me when he was drunk. And I do karate, I was able to block him, but I'd already kind of dumped him because he'd been emotionally abusive, saying things like, "You're in the bottom 25% of people I've ever hooked up with. I'm never gonna love you even though you love me." So it was a long time coming. Oh, and he, in front of our fellow cheerleaders, when I admitted to liking men, he said that was gross, even though he was the man I was hooking up with. Just to catch you all up on what I've been talking about. So it became kind of untenable for me to be on the team. Like we had qualified to nationals, and I was like, you know what? I helped them achieve that. I'm off the team. Just focused in on karate instead. And so I didn't really see him a lot. But sometimes I would see him out and about because we had mutual friends. And I then saw that he had started hooking up with a female cheerleader who he had told me he had no interest in. And when he was hooking up with her, even just kissing in public, he made a show of looking at me, looking back at her, and just making sure he saw the reaction on my face. And even though I had broken it off because of the abusive person he was, it still felt bad to see him into somebody else. Now, we talked a lot about Taylor Swift and how I had a crush on her. And I did. And my uncle was friends with the set designer of Saturday Night Live, so the episode that she hosted and performed in, I got to go see it live and talk to her, and she was very, very nice. That's a whole saga. I'll talk about that in another video. But when I came back, because we talked about it, I was feeling, I don't know, sentimental. I was like, hey, I just met Taylor Swift. It was awesome. I'd love to tell you all about it. And he, of course, was like, I can come over right now. In a moment of weakness, I said yes. And he came over, and I told him the story. And then I told him another story. And he just kind of proved in that encounter why it was good that we were done. He was just trying to say that the stuff that I was into was gross, and he was just doing it to be nice. He wasn't into it at all. So, till the end, just all about power. And then after he hooked up with her, he hooked up with my ex-roommate because I went and studied abroad. And when I came back, I found out they'd been hooking up while I was gone. So yeah, just a kind of a garbage human all the way around in college. And then when I ran into him years later,